Global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Indeed, there is a silver lining in the cloud. Obviously, there could and still is a ray of hope for Ukrainians right now over the invasion they're experiencing in the hands of Russia. Hello and welcome to Global Happenings today. In a moment, you're going to find out what is happening and why there seems to be a ray of hope for Ukrainians in Ukraine. But before we go into the news report to find out exactly what it is, we'd like you to subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button beside it. You see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. Well, the Ukrainian pilots have reportedly arrived in Poland to start the process of taking control of fighter planes they expect to be donated by European countries, a Ukrainian government official has said. The Ukrainian parliament on Monday tweeted that Europe was sending 70 fighter planes to Ukraine, including 28 MiG-29s from Poland, 12 from Slovakia, and 16 from Bulgaria, along with 14 Su-25s from Bulgaria. This is coming after peace talks between Ukraine and Russia ended in nothing on Monday. According to the report, potential transfer of older Russian-made planes to be used in combat against Russian forces could be the most significant moment yet in a wave of promised arms transfers over the past 24 hours that includes thousands of anti-armor rockets, artillery and other equipment. It's not clear just yet what countries are donating the jet, but European Union Security Chief Josep Borrell pledged over the weekend that the EU would fund the transfer of the fighter planes from multiple countries. Borrell walked that back slightly on Monday, acknowledging that any transfer wouldn't come from EU itself, but would instead be donated bilaterally by individual EU countries. Poland and Slovakia still fly Russian-made planes similar to those used by the Ukrainian Air Force, meaning the pilots would not need much training if the planes were transferred. In another news, very quickly, we're made to understand that right now the Russian president already have built. The Russian President Putin has in recent days hidden his family members in an underground city in Siberia, according to a Russian professor. The luxury high-tech bunker is located in the Altai Mountains and was designed for protection in the event of nuclear war, said political scientist Valery Solovey, 61 years. Formerly a professor at Moscow State Institute of International Relations (MGIMO), attended by future top diplomats and spies, Solovey has previously alleged that Putin suffers medical problems hidden from the Russian public and had taken part in Brazil's secret shamanic rituals alongside his defense minister Sergei Shoigu. Some in Moscow dismissed Solovey as a conspiracy theorist or a hoaxer, but just last week he was interrogated for 7 hours by Russian authorities due to allegations he made about Putin's medical and mental condition on the Telegram site he operates. His home was also searched and multiple electronic items were seized. Solovey was subsequently released, but the case is not closed. The claim comes as Russia pounds Ukraine with missiles, leading to accusations that Putin is committing crimes by deploying devastating clusters on helpless civilians. This is coming from a professor, I guess, professor, yeah, and he seems to be having quite a lot of conspiracy theory. And according to him, he's of the opinion that Putin, the president of Russia, have hidden his family already in a luxury high-tech bunker that can withstand the test of anything. And the funny part is, it's actually done on Altai Mountains, nature at its peak. I don't know how true this is, but he seemed to be the only one that have that particular news. And he's saying it with all boldness. And of course, don't forget that the Ukrainian president have asked that he would love to, find himself in EU as a member state, find his country, Ukraine, in EU as a member state. But it looks like the EU has also responded to his request, saying that that membership process takes a lot. It's not something that you just say, I want to join, and I join and he joins. It's just, according to EU, it takes quite a process. And right now, he's actually probably not in the right. He's not there to go through all those processes. But the truth is, between all of us, we all know why, right as of now, that the Ukrainian president needs that membership. At least if he becomes a member state, EU's hands will not be folded. They would have to intervene in their affairs, even though right now they're still doing it, but they won't be this gentle and subtle if Ukraine was a member of the EU. But as it is, they still have decided also to do one or two things to help them out by giving them some of the necessary assistance they will need to keep themselves in defense, to help beef up their self-defense, in this whole inversion saga. But another thing I noticed is the fact that though the EU secretary said that they're going to take responsibility of transferring, he had to, take back his word and say, no, 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 no. The organization will not be taking the responsibility of all the transfer, the funds of transfers and all that, but rather the individual bilateral countries can decide to help. From all indication, Ukraine needs other help they can get. Honestly, we were hoping and praying that over the weekend, the first meeting they had is, I think, somewhere in Belarus. I'm not sure now because the location of the venue was very secretive. Probably for security sake for both delegates going to that location. It met a stiff wall. None of the parties, both parties were budging, and a lot of Nigerians, a lot of people all over the world were hoping and praying that probably the weekend will see to the end of this whole crisis and saga. Alas, they came out dead end. No, no, no one is willing to shift their grounds, and it continues. So right now, I think Ukraine needs all the help they can. Obviously, from all indication as well, they have also released their inmates, the prisoners that before now were actually locked up in prison. Say, look, you're going to be free men. Fight side by side with your president, with the military, defend your land as much as they can, and but you get in exchange for your freedom, even if he didn't free them. And if this whole thing degenerate to where all the world is praying it doesn't, the prison inmate it will not even be a problem because they'll just bring down the prison building at a glance. So instead of just making it as if you have combatant skills, why not join the army of Ukraine? But that's where we're going to wrap it up. We'll actually honestly pray for peace. We hope and pray that before this week runs out, there will be lasting peace globally, even between brothers like Ukraine and Russia, those sovereign.